Zoom out. It's better. Hey guys, it's 2:42 a.m. Thursday, November 30th. And I'm eating pizza. And I'm here to have an honest rant about super teams. Because I was just thinking about the NBA late night, as one does. And I just randomly remembered that James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving were all on the same team. And that one of my favorite role players from that team was Blake Griffin. I don't think you understand how crazy that is. And it's so crazy that they didn't win anything. They didn't amount to anything. Kevin Durant, 7-foot demigod, has the handles of a 6'2" guy, can do anything and score from anywhere on the court. Top 3 scorer of all time. James Harden, top 8 scorer of all time, maybe. Pound, best ISO player in the history of basketball. No argument there. He had a streak of 40-point games longer than Michael Jordan. He's the second guy. He beat Michael Jordan. He beat MJ in a stat. That's so crazy. He's so good at drawing fouls, which I hate to watch, but it wins you games. He invented a new move that all the kids that everyone in the NBA is doing nowadays. And it's insane to me that those two were on a team in their primes together, maybe towards the end of James Harden's prime, but still kind of in his prime. And at the same time, they still had Kyrie Irving. They still had the best dribbler of all time. They still had a guy that can maneuver and get to you and get a bucket whenever, wherever, no matter who's on him. That is crazy to me. That they didn't win anything. But you know who else didn't win anything? One of the best dunkers of all time. A lottery pick. Because I forgot what number he went. If he went 1, I just sound stupid. But a lottery pick. A guy whose team was nicknamed Lob City because he caught so many alley-oops. One of the most ferocious dunkers of all time. I don't know how you have Blake Griffin. Sure, he was past his prime, but when he was past his prime, he still hit three-pointers. He learned how to shoot the 3 so he could stay in the league longer. He tried harder on defense. Not that he never tried, honestly. He always tried on defense. That was another reason why he was fun to watch. So that carried over. And he could still dunk. Detroit Pistons Blake Griffin, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother conversation. He was so good. He was doing all the things that LA Clippers Blake Griffin was doing, but on Detroit, a team that won no games, a team he was always frustrated on. So nobody really paid attention. But holy shit, was he good. He was shooting 3s. He was doing everything that you would want from a modern day big. And it's so crazy that it just kind of got looked over. Those are some of the best years of his career. What was I talking about? Super teams, right. It's so crazy that the Nets team didn't win anything. And that got me thinking about the history of super teams and how they kind of don't really matter anymore. Sure, we have the Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal in the Suns now. We have the Jason Tatum, Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis. Sure, you can call those super teams. But it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't have the same vibe. Wow, everything is so much clearer. It doesn't have the same vibe as the super teams of the past did. Some people would say the first super team is the '08 Celtics with Paul Pierce, Rondo, Ray Allen, what's his name? Kevin Garnett. Don't know how I forgot Kevin Garnett. Celtics legend Jason Terry. We love Jason Terry. Celtics legend Brandon. Actually, I don't know if Brandon Bass was on that team, but I do know Brian Scalabrine was. He's another Celtics legend. So that team was stacked. Brian Scalabrine doesn't change anything, really. But that team was really damn good. They won a championship that year. But I think the start of the super team was LeBron James. My GOAT. My greatest of all time. So you have the greatest player of all time. The NBA, at the time he wasn't, but nowadays, with Zach, he's the NBA's leading scorer. He's got an MVP under his belt. He should have a depoy. You know, I think he won that over Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol, whichever Gasol it was. I think he won it. One of the smartest players of all time. One of the best passers of all time. One of the lit coach. He's lit coach. He's lit everything. He can do everything. I think he's the greatest player of all time. So sure, you have the GOAT on your team. Then you have Dwayne Wade, the second greatest shooting guard of all time behind Kobe. You know, I'll put that one out there. D-Wade's amazing. He's a high flyer just like LeBron. He'll dunk on you. He'll get to the rack. He can kill you in the mid-range. He's smart. He can pass. He can hit game winners like nobody else. So now you have two guys who can hit crazy game winners who are just clutch as fuck. And then you add Chris Bosh. You're cooked. You're cooked. But you know what? You're like, I guess we have to play those guys, right? But we have the edge in shooting guard. Nope. Ray Allen. They have Ray Allen. The third best shooter of all time. You got Steph. You got Clay. You got Ray Allen. How do you beat that team? And then they had fucking NBA legend Birdman. Chris Anderson? What was his name? I should literally only remember him as Birdman. I'm pretty sure it's Chris Anderson. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. He had 1 million tattoos. He had the mohawk. He was 32,000 tattoos before 32,000 tattoos was in the league, which is wrong because 32 tattoos was in the league at the same time as him. That's J.R. Smith. But still, J.R. Smith is another crazy thing. Oh my gosh. The other day, I just remembered that Mike D'Antoni. I just remembered that Mike D'Antoni coached Amari Stoudemire. Who was on that team? I'm blanking right now. I actually have to Google this because it blew my mind. It was Carmelo, Amari Stoudemire. My phone's at 5%. I should probably plug it in, seeing as I'm next to a charger, but I probably won't. Jeremy Lin was on that team. Raymond Felton, I'm pretty sure. 2011-2012 Knicks. Yeah, Mike D'Antoni, head coach. They had Carmelo Anthony. They had Mike Bibby, Tyson Chandler, Baron Davis, Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, and Amari Stoudemire. All of those egos, and then out of nowhere, Linsanity happens. And you have Jeremy Lin on that team. How do you balance that? At first, I was like, how did this team succeed? How did they win? How did they blah, blah, blah? Now I understand why they, or how didn't they, I mean. Now I understand why they didn't. So, way too many egos. Way too many guys who were just out there to score. You had Mike Bibby on defense. You had Iman Shumpert. You had JR who was decent. You had, yeah. You want to count Steve Novak, I guess? Oh, you had Amari Stoudemire. You had Stat. I call him Stack. You had Stat. So yeah, that probably helped you on defense a lot. So yeah, why didn't this team win? What the fuck? This team was really good. That Knicks team? I watched the Linsanity documentary. That was really cool also. What else am I passionate about? This pizza right here. This is so good. This is so good. If you're ever in Richmond and you're craving pizza, go to Christian's. Christian's Pizza. Cheap slices, New York style pizza. There's definitely better pizza in the world, but I don't think there's better pizza in Richmond, on average at least. Every once in a while, Christian's has its good days and its bad days, just like every restaurant, but yeah. Let's see what's going on Hoop Grids. This was, I didn't have enough time to finish yesterday's, but my first couple guesses were this. Hold on. There you go. See that? It's John Wall for more than 2,500 assists and NBA Player of the Week. Deron Williams for Nets NBA Player of the Week, and then Raptors for Fred VanVleet for NBA Player of the Week. Raptors. Just the whole bottom row. But the day before that, I did pretty well. I feel. This is what it is, and that was I honestly haven't done hoop grids a lot lately, so it was nice to get that one, and just kind of know players. Just like, remember players. Because I feel like hoop grids is one of those things where the more you do it, the better you are at it. So, the more I did it, the better I got at it, the more I remembered, the more I could recall. And then I stopped for a little bit. I tried to get back into it, and it just wasn't the same. I didn't remember what I remembered, or what I thought I remembered. So it's nice now like this. My best hoop grid ever was super fire. It was like a 0.3. My best hoop grids ever was a 1.13. You just have to look at it. Just take a gander at that. Could you do that? Probably. But I think it's cool that I did that. I've never gotten that many purple players before ever. Because every time it says played in the 1990s and played in the 2010s, and every time it says played in the 90s, I do Ilgauskas, because who is thinking about him? No one, except for me, because I think LeBron is the greatest player of all time, and I love his career, and Ilgauskas is a big reason he made it to the finals when he was on the Cavs at all. And then every time it says Boston Celtics and someone else, and something else, really, I do Jason Terry, because who is thinking of him? I remember him because of his headband in 2K13, because I used to always play with the Celtics, and I thought that was sick. 6+ 3-pointers made in the game. I had Malik Monk, and I honestly didn't know if he ever did this. I just thought, he can shoot the three well. He probably has done this, and no one's going to think of him, so I put him down. And then for the Trailblazers, most 3-pointers made in the game, I couldn't think of anyone. So in the process of guessing people, I put down Jeremy Grant, and he turned out to be a 0.08%, so it worked out. And then for Pacers plus 3 6-pointers made, I put Aaron Nesmith, because I remember when he was on the Celtics, I'm pretty sure he had a game where he had 7 threes. And now he's on the Pacers. A lot of people don't know he's on the Pacers. Most people don't know he's fucking lights out from 3-point. He's amazing. I thought he was going to be the next big 3-and-D guy. That didn't really work out. Yeah. Sadly. So the Celtics traded him for Malcolm Brogdon, who then we eventually flipped for Drew Holiday. Or Porzingis. No, it was Drew Holiday. Anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, I was a little upset at that because I was a big fan of him. I really followed him. I don't follow too many guys outside of college or through their college career, but I remember hearing his name and thinking creator of basketball Nesmith, Aaron Nesmith. That's cool. I'll keep tabs on him. Then he happened to get drafted to my team and just, it didn't work out. I wish it would. He's a good role player now for the Pacers, and I really respect that. He's doing great. And honestly, I would not mind him on his team, on the Celtics team. He would be getting pretty good minutes for us. But played a role in getting Porzingis here, so I'm not mad at that either. For the Celtics Pacers, I did Tristan Thompson. Yeah, that's all. That's all I have to say about that. Every time I see the Pacers in 1990, I put Detlef Schrempf because of Parks and Rec. It's the only reason why. Every time I see the Blazers in 1990s, I put Michael Ruffin because I love that name. And I saw him once. I was scrolling through names. I typed in Michael on Hoop Grids. I forgot who I was looking for. I was looking for someone. Typed in Michael, saw Michael Ruffin. I was like, who? Looked up his basketball reference. He's just the homie now. He's just one of those names. And then Celtics Trailblazers. I did Bill Walton because he's big and white. People forget about guys like that. Yeah. So that's my hoop grids. Super teams. Dude, the Suns. The fuck? I don't think the Suns are a super team, though, because KD's past his prime, which, honestly, he's still, like, super duper good. Devin Booker is in his prime. He's passing the ball amazing. Who else? Bradley Beal. We haven't seen him play yet. Played one game. And in that game, he played, like, 20 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, he played good. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. They really don't have that great defense, and their playmaking when D-Book is not on the floor is not that great. I mean, KD's doing good playmaking. You've got guys like Aaron Gordon. You've got Grayson Allen. If he's your third best playmaker, you're kind of in trouble there. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this team, but it would be fun to see them make a good, just to see them in the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs, even though the West is pretty deep. There's a lot of good teams in the West. I think they will make the playoffs because they're one of the pretty good teams in the West, and it's kind of hard just on a night-to-night basis, especially in the regular season, to outscore Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So then if you throw Bradley Beal on top of that, and if you throw Eric Gordon, who can go off for 30 just randomly out of nowhere whenever he feels like it, you've got a recipe for a pretty potent offense. And when you have a Yusuf Nurkic down low, who's not the best defender, but he's not the worst defender, and he can rebound, he can close out possessions. When you have a Grayson Allen, when you have a Kevin Durant who tries, and because he tries, he's 7 foot. He's going to get a couple stops. He's going to get a couple contests and blocks. That's just the nature of being 7 foot tall in the NBA and having a wingspan of 1,000 feet. You're going to have a decent defense. It's not going to be the worst in the league, but you're definitely not going to be able to stop the top offenses. So as that continues to develop, I'd love to watch that. I think a really good matchup for them would be the Lakers in the playoffs, because the Lakers are so inept offensively when LeBron is off the court. And honestly, it's a lot better when LeBron is on the court, but it's not. Nah, it is pretty elite. But still, I don't know. I was about to make a stupid point. Stop myself, because LeBron is LeBron. But yeah. I don't know. I'm tired now. I hope you guys have a great night. It is now, what time is it? 3:02, actually, on the dot. So it's been 20 minutes exactly. And it's a nice rant. I hope you guys have a great day, great night. And enjoy your days. You know, have a good time. Enjoy life. Remember, take things day by day and just be happy. Smile more, spread love. See you guys.